Hi everyone, I'm going to do a quick video showing you how to optimize your job searches. So a lot of times we start with Google and you get to the landing page and you're kind of like, you know what, I know what to do, I'm just going to start. And a lot of times we type in jobs for this example, in Fresno, California. And what normally happens is you're going to get a bunch of jobs. So in this search, I was able to get 49 million job hits. That's a lot of jobs for me to enter, but I don't know if some of them are active, legitimate, spam, or some of them may not even be in my zip code. They may be outside my zip code, may pull in from neighboring towns and cities. So what can I do to narrow down this number of 49 million to something more manageable and be more specific in my searches? So what you can do is you'll see in my job search now, I've included some plus signs. So my example says jobs plus Fresno plus 93720. So what I did was I took the jobs, my city, and a specific zip code within my city. And so what that will do is the plus signs is saying, Google, search for jobs and Fresno and this zip code in your search. And it has to have all three things, all these criteria have to be met in order for you to show me these listings. So the listing has to have all three of these things in there for you to show it to me. And so what it did was it populated a search and it brought my search down from a really huge number to only 907,000 searches hits, which is a lot more manageable than the millions previously. Another way to do a search is to even narrow it down more is to use a subtraction signal or a hyphen. So you'll see that I put jobs in Fresno 93720, but this time I put minus Clovis. What I did was I know that you guys have some zip codes that are really in rural areas of a county or a town, and it's hard to find jobs, so it pulls jobs from other areas, or your searches will say, oh, job within 25-mile radius or whatever it may be. So what will happen is I'm trying to filter out the neighboring towns. I want jobs just specifically in my zip code. So what I did was I did my search just like normal, jobs and Fresno and my zip code, but if it says anything with the neighboring town, I don't want to see it. So take out anything with my neighboring town. In this example, my neighboring town is Clovis. So Google, show me jobs that have Fresno and 93720 in it, but if it says Clovis anywhere in that job listing, don't show it to me. And so it narrowed my search even more to 260,000 jobs. Another way to do job searches is to use different keywords. So in this job search, I'm using the keyword current openings in Fresno, California. This using different keywords instead of the searching jobs in Fresno, California. It helps kind of populate other phrases that employers would use when they're posting job positions. And so because I used the keyword current openings in Fresno, California, it brought my search down to from the unmanageable hundreds of millions to 997,000 hits that says current openings in Fresno, California. But let's see if we can reduce that number down even more. Now, when I do my search, I added quotation marks. You'll see here. And why the quotation marks? The quotation marks is telling Google to search for a specific phrase. So if you have a keyword that you want to use or a specific job you're looking for, you can use the quotation marks and tell Google to search for any job openings in Fresno, California with that specific keyword. So in this case, I just typed in quotation marks current openings in Fresno, California. So I told Google, show me anything that has Fresno, California in it, but it has to have this quotation in it. It has to have current openings in that job on the site that you're going to show me. It has to say current openings somewhere in there, and so it's Google searching for that phrase, and so it brought my number of searches down to even more manageable to 11,900 hits. Another thing you can use instead of current openings or jobs in Fresno is using the word now hiring. But again, it still brought up a big number of hits for me. So I need to figure out another way to bring down that big number of 6 million to something more manageable. So another way to reduce the searches even more is by going into Google and doing things that I previously mentioned about the quotation marks and the plus sign, but now I added the phrase file type PDF into my search. And so what that's doing is it is narrowing down my search to specific files. Sometimes employers send out a flyer that they have an opening or a position that they're looking to fill, or a company has a person behind the scenes just adding on a Word document or an Excel spreadsheet or a PDF, and they like push that file out every so often, but they don't necessarily have a digital job board. They just have a file that's listing different jobs. And so what you can do is look for specific file types, and Google will search for that specific file type. And so I was looking for PDFs, and you'll see that it's an attachment to this website. And it narrowed my search down to 20,000 hits. Some common file types are going to be listed here. You'll see that there are 4 common file types that are usually seen. There are more, but these are the most common ones. There are documents, portable documents, PowerPoint, and Excel are the most common file types. And you just do the file type, file type, colon, and then whatever extension you're looking to use at the end. Some suggestions that I would have when you're searching, because you could use Google for your searches, because they do have their own embedded job board, as you saw on the previous screens, that Google does list jobs when you're typing it in. You could go and go to different online job boards. Some of the more, the ones that we would recommend that you would use are like Indeed, Glassdoor, Snagajob, Monster, specific state, county, or city job boards, CareerBuilder, ZipRecruiter, LinkedIn Job Search, or if your town or your zip code has a college or university career center, they usually have stuff listed on those websites as well, like the online job board. This is not an exhaustive list of all the job boards that we recommend. There's so many more out there, but these are the ones that we found that were pretty reputable and legitimate. You can find your own resources, your own job boards, but just remember that there are a lot of spammers out there, and some of these job boards are not legitimate or not up to date. So you have to kind of use your discretion and do your research before you accept that this job is legitimate or not. If you have questions, always reach out to your team, to your coordinators, and see if they can offer suggestion about a specific site if you're concerned if it's legitimate or not. The one thing that I should mention with these additional search engines are they usually allow you to, they're limited in their capacity of searches, and they allow you to search for specific cities within a certain mile radius. So if you do have one of those rural cities, it's going to pull jobs from other areas versus jobs for your specific city. It may pull jobs within 5 or 10 mile radius of a neighboring town, which then you can't use because it's outside of your zip code. So just kind of be mindful of that. And then with the third-party websites as well, you want to make sure that you go directly to, as best as you can, to the company's website to pull the application link versus going through like a third-party job board to apply. We want to eliminate the middleman, so you want to also go through that extra step to find which company it is and find if they have an online application process and use that link in your URL. Some other recommendations are to use your specific zip codes to narrow down your search. If your town is small, use the hyphen symbol to subtract, or other nearby zip codes. Use keywords during your search, like instead of saying jobs in this town or in this zip code, use other keywords when you're searching, like now hiring, current openings, immediate, ASAP, apply today, looking to fill, things like that. Change your searches up a little bit, and use the quotation in your searches, because that's going to help kind of be more narrow and specific in your hits when you're searching. Other keywords could be specific openings, especially for essential worker positions, like things in the medical field, retail, grocery, shipping, logistics, transportation, repair, emergency positions, things like that. Be very specific in positions, because sometimes we can just say, what positions are out there, but if you kind of even narrow down your search even more to specific positions that are essential right now, you may find more hits. And then we get that some zip codes are tiny, and you may have a zip code that's in a rural part of town that has nothing at all, like maybe a post office, if anything. So if you spend a legitimate 20 to 30 minutes thoroughly searching, thoroughly looking for jobs for that zip code, and you're hitting a wall and you're hitting a wall and you're hitting a wall and you're not finding anything, flag it. Write it down, DM your coordinator, let them know, hey, I spent about 20 to 30 minutes searching for this positions for this job. I can't find anything within the zip code. I moved on. Do that, because a lot of times you'll just keep, we don't want you to sit there and be like, I'm going to keep searching, and you're spending 2-3 hours looking for a position that's not going to exist. So rather flag it and then ask for a different zip code, or move on to the next zip code if you were given more than one zip code. I hope this helps you guys a little bit with your job searches. If you have any questions or concerns, always reach out to your teams, to your coordinator, and let them know what's going on if you're hitting any blocks, so that way they can try to get you the support that you need. All right, thank you, everyone.